Be brave enough to travel alone, it's great! Hello creative companion, I'm Cat Wild, and today I give you 8 tips for traveling alone in my dry talk while I'm working on a surrealistic artwork. By the way, I use water mixable oil pans. First, I tell you how I started with traveling alone. Then I give you 8 tips about it, and I'm ending with the benefits. My first solo trip was at the beginning of my life as a student. The reason why I traveled alone was easy. My friends who studied different subjects didn't have time when I did, so I planned to go alone for a trip. My first trip wasn't far away, only Berlin. But until now, the hostel in Berlin was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. No worries, the worst was nice. So I decided to make a second journey 2 weeks after that because I wanted to have a more typical hostel travel experience, and I got it in Antwerp. And after that, I could add a few more journeys to the list. The reason why I did this video is that I often met other people, mostly women, who were too scared to travel alone but wanted to. If you exactly knew that traveling alone is not your thing and you only wanted to make it to pretend that you are cool, then don't do it. Nobody forces you to travel alone. Leave the video and do something with more sense than watching YouTube videos. But if you really want to travel alone, then hopefully my video will help you. First tip. How to travel alone without being alone. You start your journey alone, but you don't want to be all the time alone? Then stay in a hostel. Hostels are the perfect place to get in touch with other people. Believe me, you will meet so many inspiring people there. It's awesome. You can meet nice people in your room, in the living area or in the kitchen, if there's one. Often you can choose the size of your room. So I experienced dorm with 2 to 12 people. But if you think a 12 dorm is noisier than a 6 dorm, it doesn't have to be that way. Sometimes it's the opposite. It depends a little bit on where you are traveling. Besides, there are mixed rooms and sometimes separated rooms. I started with mixed rooms, but after a while I decided to go for female rooms because I was getting bored and worried about men flirting with me who shared a room with me. That was my experience in Europe. Being honest, in New Zealand mixed dorms were very nice and relaxing. So I would guess it depends on the country where you stay. But yeah. I'm now that old that I pay more money for a female dorm for being not harried. Even, I think the price gap is not fair. My second tip, feel safe, stay safe. Just do things or go to places where you feel 100% safe or 90% safe. It's okay if you sometimes take a little risk, but if you really do not feel comfortable with that situation, then leave it. Go only drinking with people you feel safe around. I mostly prefer other travelers because they are in the same situation as you. And be careful if you eat cookies from a stranger. I know, it sounds like a fairy tale, but one traveler friend was exactly doing that, and that was the way she consumed drugs without knowing it. Additionally, have contact with your family and friends to make sure that someone will care if you disappear in another country. And another thing for women, inform yourself before traveling as a woman alone in that country. And now in Europe you can act very freely as a woman, which I really appreciate, but that is not the status quo for women everywhere, so check that out. Third tip, act like a local. When I'm traveling alone, I don't want to attract attention because sometimes it leads to strange meetings or sometimes people want to steal things from you. Of course, there's also the opposite and you really meet lovely locals. So it always depends a little bit on what kind of area you are traveling around. But I prefer to pretend to be a local because people act differently towards you if they think you are one of them. How do I do that? I try to behave like them. I try to have the feeling that I totally know the country where I am. I don't show surprising emotions and of course I hide my camera in my little day backpack. I only use it when I want to take a picture. And being honest, I think I'm quite good at pretending to be a local. Even if I don't look like them. Because at my first walks, people did really often ask me where they found a specific place or street. That's kind of funny. Fourth tip, traveling alone is boring. Plan your day. If you are scared that you could easily be bored when you're traveling alone, then plan your days. What I mean by that, don't start planning weeks before traveling. Just do it on your trip and plan where you want to go the next day. What do you want to see? Do you want to see the typical buildings in the city? Do you want to go on a hike? Do you want to find the location of your favorite movie in the city where you are? Do you want to try a new activity? There are lots of things to do. Mostly traveling alone is easier when you make a day plan and stay flexible at the same time. If you see something else interesting during the day, then follow your intentions. The nice thing about traveling alone is that you can make plans for destroying them. I really loved that part. And nobody cares because you are on your own. Fifth tip, write a travel diary. You won't find the perfect talk buddy all the time while traveling, but you still want to reflect your experience. Then a travel diary is the perfect thing. I think keeping a travel diary is a very nice thing to do. You have something very personal from your travels and you can better remember the things you saw. 6th tip, stay creative. I know everybody will be like, whoa, Kat, a awesome tip? You say that in every video. But hold on, during your vacations on your own, you have enough time to be creative in inspiring places. For example, you can take the perfect photo because no one is waiting for you until you are done. Or you can start a sketchbook, and it's the same. You can stop wherever and whenever you want when you're traveling alone. No one will be hurried. Or you write short stories or a book. Just use your imagination and be creative. 7th tip, seatmates. When you travel alone, you only have one seat when the train or bus is full. How can you avoid unpleasant people? It's easy. Start watching for a nice person when the bus or train starts filling with people. Give a person who looks kind a smile and take your bags away from the seat nearby. So you get a great seatmate. It also works when the bus or train is full when you are arriving. And last tip, start small. If you are not sure if traveling alone is your thing, start small. Start with a weekend and after that a week. This is an easy way to find out if you like it or not. These were my tips for you and now I'm talking about the benefits of traveling on your own. The nicest thing about traveling on your own is that you decide everything. You decide what, when and for how long. You can live down the line. Nobody gets hurried off you when you walk the same street 5 times. Yeah, maybe I've done this before. You can just do such stupid and funny things. You learn to take care of yourself very well and to get connected to your inner needs. There aren't any people around you to tell you what you want or what you need. You have to listen to yourself. Do you need a break or some food? It's the plain living. You also have to deal with your own emotions. There's no friend or other person you have a relationship with to talk to you when you're upset about yourself or sad. And yes, being sad is a valid feeling during traveling. It's also okay to have a bad day when you're traveling. Don't forget that. A very big benefit is that your personality grows and your knowledge does too. You meet so many interesting and inspiring new people and you get to know so many different life perspectives. So it's really worth it. So for what are you waiting? It's time to plan your solo trip. I hope you enjoyed the talk, even when I'm not talking about my artwork. I hope you like my artwork. By the way, this is the finished painting. Thank you for watching. Stay creative and I see you next time. Bye!